Hi, today I would like to give you a quick overview of our Rapid Application Development System, f4b. The main aim of f4b is to cut the cost of writing business applications by making developers more productive. f4b provides the same user interface to users, managers, administrators and developers, which minimises retraining as employees progress through your organisation. Writing your SQL statements in one dialect and having f4b translate them reduces your dependence on using a particular SQL backend. Being able to run the same application on a variety of devices saves recoding and retraining. Giving basic users the tools to be more productive reduces the burden on administrators and developers. Administrators have control of what users see. They have access to select query design tools and scheduler functions, which reduces the burden on developers. By giving developers a powerful set of SQL design tools, the applications produced are consistently high quality with a well-documented, easy-to-use structure and interface. The architecture of f4b is simple, a single application for all users. Depending on their privileges, each user has access to SQL stored in a user database. This SQL is then used to retrieve and edit the data in the various application databases. An accounts database, a contact management database, any sort of database really. The data is retrieved using the select SQL of the data access layer. Editing of the data is controlled by the SQL of the business logic layer, which consists of action SQL and business rules. Logging into f4b for the first time as a developer, you are presented with the system setup activity, which is the business logic layer of the user database. I've logged into this user database before and entered some connection strings to application databases. If I had logged in as an administrator, I would have been presented with the user setup activity. This is the data access layer of the user database and is where user privileges are set up. I've actually logged into this database and created a basic user, Tom. The scheduler is controlled by the administrator and can be run as a service or on a timer. Actions such as emailing reports run via the scheduler are executed on the server, reducing network traffic. Okay, so let's start creating our first application. Back to the system setup. First we need to create a basic set of select queries for that data access layer. f4b is now interrogating the system tables of the application database and creating select queries. We've now created our basic data access layer. Let's have a look at what we can do with it. So there's our 192. Pick a query of interest. Using the field selector, users can control the fields presented by f4b. From here we can sort, page through, filter, total the data, edit, attach documents, report, and email. So saving your view layout, This dialog comes up differently if you're a basic user in that you don't get access to these menu options or these tabs. Removing fields from the field list here will mean they're not available using the field selector. So save as favourite jobs. So our new view has been added to the navigation as a favourite for this form. So let's start creating a new activity. So open Jobs view. Add a couple of related views. Close the Forms tab. Save the activity. And our activity has been added to the navigation. Well, I guess we can leave the developer to sort out our applications. Let's have a look at what we see as a basic user this time. Well, it's the same form but a different activity. The factory default activity for a basic user is the diary. When we send out a new license for f4b, we send it out as an email. At Front End for Business, we keep a log of the changes made to f4b in the diary. One of the diary form favourites is the release notes. These are the changes we made in this version. You can present it as a report. We also use the document management for the help system. f4b is well documented. Setting up route planning is something useful that the basic user could do. If we have a business that entails travelling the same route over time, making a note of that route will let us know how far additional stops will add to the journey. Just check the route. Once connected, we'll be able to add to these lists from the address data in application databases. The point here is that the basic user is productive and learning straight away. Okay, so let's see how the developer's getting on. Just a bit of tidying up. Developers have access to Action Query Design tools. We can run the SQL now or save it to run off a button. Okay, so let's see what Tom's seeing. Looks good. Addresses with city in various columns. tabs have been linked to show related data. Showing all related records. Some management reporting. Users with access to this type of reporting can filter, sum and group as needed. A custom form has been added for haulage jobs.
Using f4b on your mobile is simple. You will need to have RDP on your mobile. It's free from your App Store. The developer has added Tom to a mobile group, meaning that f4b will come up in a mobile style. Gesture paging, same filtering, familiar feel. It's the same interface but scaled for mobile. Well, I hope I've given you some idea about f4b. For more information, please visit frontend4business.com.